So I'd like to talk about Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro today. This particular fiction is the first the book I started reading when I was much older, and before then I didn't have time to read books or anything, and first of all I didn't know I could read book in English, right? Because I have been always I've been an English learner since I came to the United States, and so I never thought I could read. I could enjoy the book in English, but the one day I took this particular book, and actually I took this book, Never Let Me Go, as well as the Dan Brown's Da Vinci Code, and I stayed at this mountain resort place, and I stayed one week, and I didn't go anywhere. I just stayed there. Beautiful outside, but it's November, so it was already season is past, and so I didn't have much outside, but I could stay there and very quietly by myself start to read books, and I think I read both of them very fast. I think I read the I think Dan Brown's book, Da Vinci Code first, and then I started to read the Never Let Me Go. Never Let Me Go is the book about also somewhat science fiction, and I cannot divulge any story or any things about that particular story, but I would tell you this. It's about the British, somewhere in the Britain countryside, boarding school, and I think it could be a futuresque boarding school, and the kids are all, they're playing, and all the very innocent kids, and they're making some gift to somebody, and they try to make beautiful stuff, and so they are very happy kids, and but once in a while they wonder, so I have to do this and I have to do this. I cannot eat coffee. I cannot drink a coffee. I cannot drink alcohol. But they are already like a teenager at that time. And the book was narrated. One of the girls there named Kathy, and Kathy narrates this. Very, as a matter of factory, but she doesn't know what's going on there. She doesn't know herself what's going on this particular boarding school, and she innocently believes that whatever she was told to do was a good thing, and I think she was told to do this and this and this, and she believed that is a good thing to do. So of course she tried her best to do that, and so Kathy has a little bit older, maybe a year or two older girl named Ruth. Ruth is a friend of Kathy, and but Ruth and also Tommy is, I think, the Ruth's boyfriend, and also Kathy's probably boyfriend too, because both of them liked him. And Tommy was kind of an innocent boy, but very likable people. And then the story unfold, slowly unfold. So when you get to that particular revelation, you are hooked. You cannot stop reading. You have to read, because this is fascinating world of page turner, right? You have to finish, and so that's what happened, and it was fantastic. And probably after reading that, maybe a month, I was thinking about this particular story. Wow, they're always coming back, and it's become a little bit surprising story but it's also it also I think it's like more or less like a philosophical, like you accept whatever you feel that if somebody tells you that's a great thing to do and that's a good thing to do, you have to do that and you will do that because that's what you are expected to do, and so they do that. And I'm not sure this is like a criticism for today's some society, or in the past some society like that. And I'm not sure about that, but I don't think it's not like a criticism for some societies or anything, but I think it's commentary to the some people who grows up with parents' advice, teacher advice, and all these people's advice, and you kind of because they are much more older than me, therefore I have to listen to them, and you really don't have a question, and so you listen to them, and I think you follow their advice, and that's I think I would say that pretty much the author's intention to say, hey, just wait a minute. There's no such thing like you have to listen to them. You have your free will to do whatever you want to. And but people who grew up in that kind of society, even though they are probably you are free to do anything, but you don't because you are already in that society and somewhat, and your thinking is a little bit trained to think that way, and that's I would say that's a little bit of a some society or some people's criticism there, but the book itself is a beautifully written. Kazuo Ishiguro's English is very easy, very nice, straightforward writing, beautiful sentences, right? It's not like a truncated or anything. It's beautiful sentences, and it's beautiful reading. And of course, reading this book, you start to cry, all right? And that emotional there. Okay, so that's a book. And they made a movie, right? Kerry Madigan and Keira Knightley and Andrew Garfield in it. The movie also beautifully done, but of course, people should read the book first and then see the movie second, because the movie is always kind of a disappointing. Other way around is not good because you already know what they are. And you lose this particular effect of page turner contents of the book. So if you don't know anything about Never Let Me Go, I would strongly suggest you shouldn't Google anything. You just read this book from the beginning to the end, and I think that's how I did it, and I think you will enjoy tremendously. And the name of the book, the Never Let Me Go, is I think a jazz song. It's old, I think American popular song probably, and but that particular song is not that famous or popular or anything. But I have a CD that, for example, like Ella Fitzgerald sing that song, and so. It is kind of a well-known song. I think Kazuo Ishiguro's, when he was growing up, I think he listened to that music, and I think that's what he used this particular music. I don't know much about the content of that particular lyrics of the music. Probably it's related to the story. I have no idea. Kazuo Ishiguro. When he came to England, he was only 5 years old. He was born in Nagasaki, Japan, and he grew up there for 5 years, and then father took a job in Britain as an oceanographer, right? Okay, and that's why they moved, and they stay there after that, you know, and so you know, his education is very much English education there, and his first novels and so forth. I already talked about it. His first and second fictions are. It's about Japan. It's about the story of Japanese people, and so about the sentences about the prose or whatever it is, beautiful English writing there, and he got like several awards in that. And I saw his interview when the interviewer asking about what is it to, and so he that started to write the fiction. I think for some reason, I think still that particular feeling of being born in Japan and 5 years old, how he could remember all this Japanese stuff. I don't think he remembered that much, but his tie to the Japanese culture, I think, is still very, very strong. But this particular story, Never Let Me Go, it's nothing to do with Japan and nothing to do with Orient or anything, and it's completely England, I think it's somewhere countryside in England, futuristic situation story. And so, I could see that, he has, previously he has Remains of the Day, that was completely British story, British societies and so forth. And this one is also like a boarding school, for example. It's very British to me. And some of the relationship and how boarding school reinforces a relationship to the kids. I think very much, the British idea of kind of a strict boarding school protocol, and many kids in England, I think they go to the boarding school, right? I don't know why that is, but and now I can see that, so it's about that. So I cannot spoil, and you shouldn't be spoiled about the contents of this particular book. You have to just read the book, without looking at any articles or seeing the YouTube or anything. And after reading the book, you can search what the other people are thinking about this book or anything like that. So please do that. And so this is my few cents of December 23rd. Already Christmas is 2 days ago. It's kind of cold outside, but I'm glad that 2020, which was kind of a terrible year with pandemic, and hopefully that's going to turn around, but who knows? A vaccine is available now, but it's gonna last a little bit longer. Okay, bye.